Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for April 22nd through the 28th, 2024. So I'd like to first of all thank everyone who's returning to this weekly series, and to also welcome anyone who's new to our Angelic Wisdom community. This week starts off with Earth Day. So that's also an interesting aspect of this week. And also, the Mercury retrograde will go direct on the 25th of April. So that's also another good thing. I've really been noticing a lot of weird, glitchy things happening with the electronics during this retrograde. It was very eerie in a way. So we have that, and let's see. I don't know if oh yes, and there's going to be a full moon in this week as well. And forgetting what the full moon, oh, it's going to be in Scorpio. So that's going to bring up a lot of things as well during this week. So we're going to see some interesting things in this week. So let's go ahead, if you haven't already, and sort of select the all notification bell, subscribe, like, dislike, and leave your comments. If you are looking for an angel reading with me, you can go to my current website, theangelschool.com /services. That link will be in the description area below this video. If you'd like to support my channel with a donation, you can select my PayPal me link for Angelic Wisdom LLC. And if you haven't already, but checked out the general monthly angel reading, that link will still be there for the month of April. So we've had a lot of interesting astrological events in this this particular month, and you might have been already experiencing sort of some symptoms in your body in response to the energies that came through the solar eclipse. I know I've been experiencing sort of a purge, a detox as well. Just really happened on its own. So, bear with everything, because with that eclipse, it was a positive opportunity for transformation in your life. And with that comes a clearing of some things have to be, released in that process. Now, let's go ahead and sort of tune in to the energies for this week, for April 22nd through the 28th. And I'm seeing the word releasing, and then release. And I'm not seeing a lot of prefix re. And then I'm seeing reject, regenerate, and release again. I saw the word jeopardy. So I don't know if I can remember all those words, but you're still releasing energy, they're saying. Continue to release, let things go. Um, and the process, or they're speaking about the process of, you being actively releasing or letting things go. They wrote the word development in that too. And I don't know what the word reject meant, but I would definitely say reject any notions that are not healthy for you, that are toxic. You know, um, you don't have to accept, everything that's thrown at you. Um, I don't know if they mean it this way, but this one thought comes to mind. Like sometimes we take the energies personally that are going through, and they're really happening to the collective. One of the interesting things that I was sort of given an image of, and I think I wrote about it, was the idea of this energy is passing through, sort of like an instrument. Like you are an instrument, like a harp, and the strings, the energy as it's passing through, it sort of um, strums those strings, and the instrument might be in tune, or the upkeep of it may be really great, or it may not be. So depending on how you've been keeping your instrument, that only means your physical body, but your your energy fields, your aura, your chakras, those all those instruments of our soul will depend on how this energy will feel to you. So if your body's not feeling good, or emotionally or mentally, it's more um, sort of rapid, or you're more anxious, don't don't take it as a personal thing for you, or personal criticism, or like that you're doing something wrong. You're experiencing the collective energy, and um, and so be aware that we're all feeling the collective energy within our instrument, because we're in one, all connected, and we've made everything together. We can argue about that, but we're all complicit in what we are experiencing in this collective experience called Earth. So this is a reminder for each and every one of us to not just pray for ourselves, to not just try to be a better person just for ourselves. Well, where we think of ourselves as spiritual elitist, that's not the goal. To be above everybody else, to be above the energies, to be above other people's behavior. No, we're tied in this together. There's no such thing. If you want to improve yourself, you have to be aware that the improvements that you make to yourself improve the collective across the entire world of this planet and beyond. The universe is also being affected by what we're doing here, what each of us does as an individual, or we intentionally do collectively. So when you want something in your prayers, if you're praying for peace, if you're praying and you feel this energy in your body, so getting back to that point of not taking it personally, but being aware that it's collective energy. When you pray for the collective to be healed, or to be released from the energy that you're feeling. So recently, last week or something, I went into the Trader Joe's, and I just noticed all of a sudden like I felt like this teardrop in my heart chakra, and it was just really, heavy, heavy emotions. And when I came out, I kind of realized, because I didn't feel that way when going in. And then I prayed for the area, not just the Trader Joe's. And when I did, it went away. So we can clear energy, and the universe is kind of not they're holding us accountable, because the prayers for help have to come from us. They are facilitating an enormous amount of energy, but we have to ask for it on behalf of not just ourselves, but the collective. The word regenerate, I think I saw as well. So this is also a time where the energies that are coming in are preparing, they're regenerating certain processes that had that were that have been dormant for since the fall of Atlantis, like our 12 strands of DNA or the frequency of the planet. Um, this degeneration caused things like for the air and the soil and the waters to lose their potency. So these things are being regenerated. Our cells are being regenerated to hold more light. And so all this icky feely body stuff, is because of a detoxification of your cells and the energies that have been on the planet. And not only, Mother Earth, deep in the earth, these bodies of water, the planet, the air is holding, the atmosphere is holding all of this stuff. The astral plane is, crowded and holding a lot of energy. So we're having to move, energy out. And you may not even, they may tell you, some of you might be really tuned into what the energies that you can specifically call on and utilize it. But if you don't know, by asking, they will take care of it for you. You'll call on those powerful energies even without being clear in their specific names. I just saw the word reconcile. And so this is a period of reconciliation. So all this is like preparing us. It's preparing us. And they write the word spiral. So, at the same time, things are still spiraling. But as it comes up, make peace with it within yourself. Let it provoke you into making peace with the world rather than feeding into what is spiraling and drag yourself further into the dramas and the sagas that we've been creating all this time, not realizing how powerful we are. And if this power is not respected, that it is neutral, and so therefore it can be empowering or destructive. It can be inspirational or frightening or even lethal. So there's so many important things. So this reconciliation, make peace, forgive, love instead of anger, love instead of, shaming or, guilting yourself or shaming another. Love instead. It's not, it is not a worthless attribute. It is not weak love. We just haven't put our faith and our confidence behind it enough to let it prove to us, because we typically manipulate. That's our default. Before we give love a chance, an opportunity to orchestrate something beautiful, something miraculous, we go ahead and we interfere by trying to make things happen and manipulate. We keep trying to make things happen. We pray and then we go, but maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this. No, surrender, surrender. Every time you think of something, surrender, surrender, surrender. And when it comes back to you, even if it's the same idea, but you feel total peace at the thought of it and during the execution of it, then you have followed your heart. You have followed the divine will that you prayed to help you achieve your goal. And you will achieve that goal because you relied on the strength of love, the peace that passes all understanding. And they write yes to that. This practice of surrender is sort of the key, the starting point for reacclimating yourself to the frequency of oneness and love, and recalibrating away from fear and using it as a way to manipulate people because you're afraid of losing control of the situation. Being afraid and surrendering means that you are not afraid to lose anything you have. You're not afraid for it to be taken from you. Anything in your possession that you are afraid of it being lost or stolen or ripped from you or done in some way that is unfair, then that is a cancer to you. It rather than, it is unhealthy. It is like a cancer. And you should learn to not value anything that much over the peace of your soul. Once you can let it go, then everything that should remain or that should come to you will be able to fall into your life. Even the resolution of a disagreement will occur or happen for you. They're writing happened as I was trying to find those two words, because it's already happened. The illusion that we're spinning, our fear spins scenarios, and they're never real and they're never true. They are possibilities which need your energy, they write right in front of me, to feed it into physical manifestation. So you've got to drop that. You've got to let go of the fear, the attachment, the fear, or the wrapped around that attachment. You have to let go of that. Sever it from yourself so that you don't get dragged further down that sort of dead-end lane. So they're showing me a tree, and then they're showing me sort of a head next to the tree. So the tree trunk is sort of about medium width. Um, and I feel like what they were trying to say is this sort of, this week, don't be so much in your head, okay? This is not awareness, nor is it true intelligence or wisdom. It's just worry. It's fruitless. Worry is fruitless. And like and it's sort of like a rotten apple. It's just gonna ruin the whole barrel if you leave it in there. So clear your mind. You clear your mind by detaching. You know, when your fear says, yeah, that's going to happen to you, let it come. Because when you say that, it's because you realize that your peace is more valuable than any of that. If somebody wants to take it from you, then let them have it and keep your peace of mind. Don't hold your energy in fear. Somebody's going to take that. Somebody's going to take it. And then you looking out the door, making sure somebody is still there. You can't rest. You can't sit still. You can't enjoy anything that's right in front of you. You might as well just go and hang it on hang it right outside where it can be stolen. And I guarantee you, nobody would take it. But if you worry about somebody coming in to take it, often enough, eventually you're going to experience that. It may not be with that thing. It might be with something else. But we can't let situations that, like what we call a crisis, fool us into believing that the reactions of fear and the thoughts and ideas and the outcomes that's plotting inside of our head is the power, meaning the way, the plan that the universe has for you. Because that's what we're saying every time we react that way. The universe doesn't have a plan of peace or health or love or what. The universe, it's a bad place. Well, once you believe that, then you're going to just always be miserable. Even if nothing really bad happens to you, you'll just be miserable. That's the least thing that could happen to you, which is bad enough. All right, let's take a look at the Archangel that we're working with in this week. And it's Lord Wywyvsil. So he's an Archangel from another universe and a very distant part of the universe. And his healing and his energy is beyond comprehension. It's vast. Okay, you really can't put him into a category in terms of the archangels, but I believe, and let me just work this because it's coming to my mind, that he is one of the angels, the angels of power. So he's 10th dimensional angel. And it also says the angel of birth, okay, who supervises who is allowed to incarnate. He's also a lord of karma. So that's also interesting. As you can see, there is sort of this Egyptian sort of symbol, a scarab or something like that. So, and so he has a connection to the building of the Great Pyramids. He's a very vast, powerful, healing archangel. And the card says, accept and send healing. You are a being of the universe. And I was just about to say that before I saw that. The thought when I said, accept and send energy, and that's what I was talking about in the beginning. You and I don't want to accept love as a power. because we don't want to accept that we're really, truly powerful, high dimensional, at least seventh dimensional souls. There's no one on the planet. And when we keep buying into the illusion that there are people who are low vibrational, I mean, people can be low vibrational, but their soul, in terms of dimension, is not low. And sometimes we just get stuck on the low vibration because we're seeing they're giving off low vibes. But the soul, the divinity of that soul is a high frequency, a high dimensional being, and at least seventh dimensional. Not one person who you've seen in this recent period of time has been admitted to the planet without being a seventh dimensional soul or higher. No one on the planet now, because any of the souls that have come in and are still here at the 2012 and forward, moving forward, are still on the planet, whether they were born 100 years ago, still was a high vibrational, a seventh dimensional soul or higher. So it's important right now. The message of this card is so important for each and every one of us to step into our power and really start asking for what we need for the collective to heal on the planet. I just saw Archangel Sandalphone, and this is a time of really being able to invoke your divine potential. And he can help you do that. And he works with this Earth Star chakra. And so if you call upon him, ask him to help you and others on the planet to invoke your divine potential to its fullest. If we ask for these things, they will do it. What you see lacking in the world, instead of reading it like a newspaper where you're just reading complaints, look at that and then turn it into and think about what we would need in order to heal that energy, and then ask the universe for that. Don't just think, and this they just wrote light workers healing. Anything, whatever you see that needs fixing, the universe, if you ask them, they will send it in some form, even if it's just energy. So don't just complain, but take your complaints and turn them into a supplication for healing. You will experience rapid shifts in your own experience. And you'll see people changing, their experiences changing around you. Because by one point of the law of attraction, they're telling me, because once you start, see, when we complain, then that's what we see in everybody. We see things that we don't like. We see things that don't agree with us. We see the bad in people. But when we start praying for light, for healing, that's what we start to feel in our connections with everybody. That's how we start to first connecting with them. And that changes the dynamic of those relationships automatically. All right. And you can call upon him to amplify your healing intention. He is not, no angel replaces your ability, your healing ability. Calling Archangel Raphael, he's not healing you. You are calling on him to amplify healing that only you can give permission to. The healing is already within you. Just like the energy of all of the angels is already a part of you. We're thinking about them like out there, but the sense they're giving me right now is that, let's just think of our Merkaba, and our fifth dimensional one is not is a orb rather than a six-pointed star, and it's a cosmology. Each soul is a cosmology of all of the masters and angelic beings and guides. They are not one, they are omnipresent, just like your soul is omnipresent in truth. And essence of you is in the essence of everyone. That's the only reason why we can reflect and project. So when you call on them, you're really calling on the divine essence of your own, of the facet of your soul, because the one is in the all and the all is in the one. So that's why there is no shortage of Archangel Michael's or any of the archangels' time frame or energy, because they're already a part of you. You are already complete with all of this divinity and mastery. You are complete with the entire Akashic records are already a part of you. All of this wisdom and enlightenment sparkles within your divinity. You can't see yourself with your own physical eyes because you would be immediately blinded because of the power and the satiety, they write, of your divine essence, your light. It is beyond comprehension, beyond the comprehension of the physical senses, especially the sight. It is beyond, although it has sound, it is beyond what you could perceive with your physical sense or touch, etc. But yet, you are it, and it is directing, feeding, nurturing, empowering everything that you see, touch, feel, smell in the physical world. I don't know whether I just wrote the word perfume, but when I saw it, for some reason, it just reminded me of, yesterday I went to a bagel shop, very famous one, very good, lines always out. But my stomach has been a little off because I've been clearing. And so I walked in and my stomach felt off. The thing is like I hadn't eaten anything, but my body, but that connection, because everything, you are already a part of it. And that's how you know, and why you will know is certain things will agree or not, will not agree with you. Because you're already a part of the thing you see. And everything else is too. Because it's all energy. And the energy has never separated. It is whole and complete. And yet it is expressions of reflections and projections that appear to be individuations, but it's like the ocean and the waves. They are not separate, they're one. All right, let's take a look at the first card for the beginning of the week. So we have the Two of Swords. I'm talking about reflections here. And here is interesting because she's got this she's in the mountain, almost like she's stuck, right? but yet but she's at the peak. Her head is at the peak represents the peak of the mountain. You might feel like you're stuck in something, but you have the ability when you go within, as she's closing her eyes, to reflect the wisdom and knowledge and guidance of the universe. You know what to do, but you act as though you are entrapped. And it's because you're not asking, you are judging and criticizing and complaining and resisting rather than saying to yourself, this is causing me to notice all these things I don't want. At the same time, that empowers you to know more clearly what you want because of that experience. And so if you can do it without the connection to the frustration, like frustration or anger about the things you reject, and turn it around and let it cause you to start create a list of what should be called forward, and then you start doing that with all of those complaints, you will become unlimited, and you'll stop experiencing this feeling of not knowing which direction to go. Here this card comes up again, the Four of Swords. It's been coming up so many times, and it's just really telling us we got to relax. We need to go within. Every time you think about rummaging for something, your time is to hibernate, meaning to go within, to trust you have enough knowledge, wisdom, spirit, angelic wisdom, and all kinds of things. You have everything you need. Feast. Why keep running out searching for more? The ego has you thinking you don't have enough when you are complete from the moment you were conceived as a spark of the divine. And no incarnation has ever blemished this fact. But yet, the world we live in now, the one that's becoming very uncomfortable and unsettling, the one that we think is so unfair, is to turn us off from looking at it this way, and to turn inwardly, because if it can only get more and more unfair, there'll be more and more injustice as long as we all keep acting and reacting the same ways that we've always done, which is to never rely on the power of love. You have the power to heal yourself with the support of all the forms of healing that are available to you, from holistic to medical science. You have it all available to you. None of them can heal you if you are not ready to be healed. And ready to be healed means that you have surrendered your fear and the attachments that go all along with it. And you are ready for uncertainty. You are ready even for death itself. You welcome it fearlessly if that's what it takes for you not to be afraid anymore and to have peace. When you have completely detached yourself from outcome, then you will be open to the miracle that love really is. You are ready for it to touch you, to reanimate you, to rebirth you into the realization of your divinity. your power. It goes the same for finances, whatever it is, love. You got to be willing to surrender it all, your expectation, what you think is right and wrong. Get rid of the list. If you got the list and you're using that to manipulate, to find the person, to identify the person, it's the only thing that can identify love is love. So what does that mean? You got to get out of your head, because that's fear, that's ego. And you have to not be afraid of love. You can't be afraid of being hurt. You can't be afraid of being independent versus alone. But the ego takes you to alone. Some of us are just might be independent or want independence. You can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of whatever you're afraid of. Whatever you're afraid of, pay attention to it. And then think about, what is the alternative that's unknown to you, that's on the other side of that fear? If you're afraid that you'll never be able to get pregnant, well, what's on the other side of that? What are the other possibilities? Because the fear is blocking you, and it's making you feel trapped and unworthy. But once you go beyond it and accept that this other thing you weren't expecting, that's not this, is a possible and beautiful, and you let it go, but you let go of even that, and you let the universe inspire you to act on your behalf in a way that has, I don't know if the word is integrity, but that to act on the behalf that is beauty, that's love and harmony and peaceful. So we have the strength card here. So what are we doing? We're really struggling right now with ourselves. The ego is projecting you're struggling with everybody else. The world is unfair. Everything is against you. No, that's you you're fighting. That mirage, that illusion, that's you. That's your fear. And the only reason it can fight with you is because you have not been willing to surrender. You have not been willing to say, okay, because I've been through this. When I was faced with death from a terminal illness, and it woke me up in the middle of the night and told me, you're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to die. Like, this scared me to death about the fact that I was going to die. And I went and stood in my living room, and everybody was asleep. And the walls and the ceiling and the floor, I literally saw it like in a movie, just closing in on me. Now I know it was an illusion, a hallucination, because of the fear was so worked up in me. But even in that moment, the key was within me when something said to me, tell it to prove it to you. And then those words gave me confidence and made me fearless when I turned and I said, yeah, you doggone got me up in this middle of the night acting like this, prove it. And it all went back, the walls, the floor. I've never been that afraid since that moment of that. And it proved to me what I'm telling you. You're fighting with yourself. And until you surrender what you're afraid of, because until then, it has a hold on you. It has the control. You are a puppet. And you must see everything. There is nothing valuable in this physical world. No one or nothing that is projecting fear to you or causing you to see it with fear. even if you love your children, if you feel that kind of fear, then you are not in a mindset of love. And what you're doing is the total opposite of what you want for them or anybody. Now is not the time to react to everything, but to stop, to pause, and to reflect upon the truth and call for the healing that you need, because the energies are there more powerfully now since that solar eclipse. All right, so the card that we pulled from the bottom of the deck, and this is just so interesting, the Fool card, because this is speaking about the energy I've just been talking about, this uncertainty, jumping into the unknown. We see here, this is sort of like a Thoth version, where the alligator's there, and it sort of, so it evokes a sense of danger. We have built up this myth of danger around setting ourselves free from the matrix. If you unplug yourself from the matrix, this is going to happen. How many people have told you in your life, if you go do that thing that does not what everybody else says is right or normal, you're going to, and this is going to happen to you, this is going to happen to you, and you wait. And then we believe them. And we create some kind of chaos to prove it to ourselves. So you've got to accept that in order to change, it's always going to be a risk. But it's only a risk to the ego master who convinced you of the monster that's waiting out there in the world to swallow you up and chew you up, because you're going to make a mistake before you even find out if it is. And even when we make a mistake, it's only because you said it was, because it could have been in somebody else's mind a stepping stone, right? Or an opportunity to learn. Trial and error. It's a process of healing and learning and growth and development. Mistakes, that's what they are, trial and errors. So this is what the aspect of life that you have to really focus on embracing right now if you truly want to be free of your fears. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings. Remember to ask for the healing that you need, not for yourself, but for everyone. Have a good week. God bless you.